Hey, welcome into the Five Hole Fantasy Hockey Podcast. We are your hosts tonight, Alan and Jay. We are the Fantasy Hockey Podcast telling you not to overreact and drop Connor Hellebuck for Arthur Shelovs. We're here tonight with, well, what was normally the weekend preview, but rebranding, calling it the Shutdown Shift, because we're here to help you shut down your opponent and get the W for the rest of the week. Before we get going here, remember, as always, wherever you find us, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Pods, make sure to like, subscribe, especially on YouTube here, so you know when we're going live. Join us on the Discord, all kinds of fun stuff, announcements. I think we've got to be coming up on about 3,000 fantasy hockey connoisseurs in there, chatting all things hockey, life, the universe. Twitter, follow us on Twitter/X. You can slide into our DMs. And TJ's been, the season's already started. So the draft tool on FHFhockey.com is kind of moot at this point. Maybe you're drafting late, but it's still there. But the game grid, definitely up there. Nice little tool. But check out some of the works TJ's been doing. And then, before we get going, Jay, did you check out the Kings' new third jerseys they revealed last night out of nowhere?
Oh man, now Alan calling me out. I'm like, am I a bad hockey fan? My goodness. I do remember the description being specifically that they had not just third line, third jerseys, but was it also something with the helmet or the helmets that were also distinct?
They did the chrome helmets, which I guess you needed some other color in there to kind of pop. But yeah, it's basically a take on their old purple yellow with the crown, but it's all black, white, and silver. It's really sweet.
Yeah, I don't know, is this me not being old school enough, Al? But I'm I kind of do like the transition into the black and white compared to the old purple. But I mean, I don't know if that's anathema to say to any Kings fans. So
no, you know what? I get it. I just always try to give teams. I just always try to give teams a chance when they do a color besides red, blue, and black. Like Seattle, I appreciate that they have. I mean, it's a shade of blue, but it's they're doing something different. The Golden Knights, they're doing something different. I appreciate that. Let's get into.
Sorry. If we're saying the Kings, were we referring to the purple patches on the shoulders?
Did they have purple patches? I didn't think they had purple patches on the shoulder. I thought it was just black, silver, white.
I'm just looking now, Googling around. I'm saying, is this the rumored one? I don't know. It definitely gives a throwback feeling. let's put it that way.
Let's get stories. So some power play moves here today. Luke Hughes on power play 1. I know TJ had been kind of sounding the alarm on this all preseason. It happened today. I don't know if it was affected by the contract or not, but there he is. We'll find out tomorrow. I think tomorrow's their first game. We'll find out if that sticks. And then Vegas going 5 forwards. I know it's yucky, but now that they have Marner, that might actually work. I mean, I don't think this gets Marner the D eligibility anytime soon, but I don't know. I think Jay in Toronto,
5 games,
Marner kind of played the quarterback, the blue line guy.
Yeah, he absolutely did. And this is screaming left wing Tavares eligibility after 5 games all over again from Yahoo. What?
I think he'd actually have to play at even strength to get the eligibility.
I'm just wondering, if Marner does get it, there was a discussion from 2 years back when they first rolled out the 5D in Toronto. I was thinking as well. I was like, jeez. Because
it was one thing when guys like Wachowski, who is kind of a fringe NHLer. I want to say I heard Brent Burns had it at one point,
right?
Something like it. But yeah, I had someone like Marner getting forward and defense eligibility would just be nuts.
The only thing nuttier is if Marner makes a save while defending an empty net and they give him goalie eligibility or something.
You know what? I bet someone at game, week 24 at Yahoo is like, oh shit, I got money on this. And let me, haha. All right. But yeah, so we got Marner, Eichel, Hurdle Stone, which those are really no surprises, but Pavel Dorofeyev, that fifth forward, which I am hyped for. I know I drafted him specifically because he shoots a ton, and then getting that, that extra boost in ceiling with power play one be huge. And then a few big signings. Oh, sorry.
But is he gonna get the Trigger Man deal?
I don't know.
Like
I don't know.
Marner's gonna be the guy, right?
It never hurts to have multiple weapons on the power play, because then you can't just like Tampa after losing Stamkos for the homer example. Like now it's just you collapse on Kucherov and completely negate the power play. But yeah, a few big contract signings in the last 48 hours. First big one, Connor McDavid signs. I don't know who it's for, but he signed a prove it deal. I don't think it's proving his talent. I think it's Stan Bowman, prove it to me that you're gonna build a competitive team. 2 years at $12.5 million. So yeah, I think his current it's like 14. So he took a little pay cut.
His current is 12.5. His current
okay. So
everyone assumes
adjusted for cap inflation and inflation, he probably took a pay cut. But yeah, this definitely clears up a lot of cap space for that team, especially it says the cap's predicted to kind of explode the next couple seasons.
So the big one I think too is he shifts into, is it 2028? Is that the free agency where he pops around then, I guess? Because then 26, 27, he's still there. 27, 28, he's still there. And I'm going to say this for any like Oilers fans out there. I think it's entirely reasonable to say, like, if he leaves at the end of it, no matter what's happened, if he wins all 3 cups, all 3 years, and he decides to take it home or not, the fact that the captain came out, put his money literally his money where his mouth is, and was like, we're going to run this back. Oh, gorgeous. Like, this is definitely captain material.
I hate the storyline because it goes against my bias. But a couple other small pieces of business there in Edmonton. They signed Jake Wallman to a 7x7, and then Matthias Ekholm to a 3x4 million. So nice. They shored up a lot of that. Some very, very good defensemen there.
They've got to be contenders, like not just contenders, but like now, I guess favorites right now. Yeah. I'd say, especially with the Barkov injury. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And then woke up to this morning. KFC Kyle fucking Connor, 8-year contract at 12 million AAV, which I mean that's I kind of thought the Kaprizov was going to completely screw the market on like star wingers, star players, but yeah, no, I say Connor, that's a solid contract. I mean, it's going to age very well. 12 million sounds like a lot now, but I'm sure over the next few years, that's probably closer to like 8x8.
Wait, Alan, are you telling me that? Are you telling me that somehow a Minnesota franchise got screwed in professional sports? What?
No, couldn't be. Nothing can go wrong. And fun fact I saw on Twitter today as this is going down. So the total worth of that contract is $96 million. So the Atlanta Thrashers franchise, which is now the Winnipeg Jets as we know them, was purchased for $110 million. It's an inflation fund.
Just woke up and chose violence. I'm sorry, the city of Atlanta, but yes, it is. It's brutal in some ways. Know that your franchise, the same franchise, I guess, the move back to Winnipeg is doing very, very well for itself, though. So, hey, success
and
for
then, the last big one today happened this afternoon, and it was kind of irritating to read the tweets because it was like stop motion almost, because it was like Eichel's resigning for 8 years. And then finally, if someone put the whole thing together, it was like Jack Eichel has re-signed with the Vegas Golden Knights for 8 years at $13.5 million. Huge deal for them. Although it's Vegas, who knows how long he'll actually stay there. I think I remember didn't they sign Pacioretty to like a longish term deal, and then it was like, get out of here.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look.
I thought it was a sign and trade, Pacioretty to Vegas for like 8 years or something, and then after a while, it was like, yeah, you're going to Carolina for this future considerations guy.
Oh, sorry. When I Google contract, it doesn't it doesn't throw his Vegas contract first, which makes sense.
No, and I think he
no,
retired.
I think it was a pretty reasonable one. It was a 4-year, 28
Yeah.
million at that time, so 8 million AAV. I think the issue larger is so Eichels is in conjunction together with Marner's, right? Are they almost identical contracts? Am I seeing it wrong?
Yeah, I think they're both 8. But I think Marner's was 8 or 9 mil. Like it's
Okay.
less than Eichels.
Right. But that would be pretty cool because in the sense that obviously those two guys are going to be in their primes locked together for the duration of their contracts together in the same city, right? So I think
it'll be good until this off season when Vegas realizes that they're kind of screwed and that they need to move some money around. But really, and injuries are kind of tricky because it's a lot of people that are like, okay, it's game 1, I'm good to go, I'm in, put me in, coach. But really, I feel like it has real hockey ramifications. The only one I really wanted to mention, Alex Pietrangelo has been officially designated out for the complete season. Plus, yes, this includes playoffs. So Vegas does, in this case, under the new rules, they get his full salary in cap relief. I think from what I could gather, it was if they had just put him on LTIR and kind of tried to Kucherov, Kane, stone him, they would only get, I think the figure was like whatever the average salary was the previous season would have been like 3.8 mil, something like that, which is a decent amount of money, but it's, under the new rules, like, and I guess the player has to sign off on this too, to be designated completely out, which is, I guess, we haven't heard anything on the Barkov front, so who knows if he is waiting to see what happens, if he hasn't really come to terms with what's going to happen, that he needs to maybe designate himself out for the entire season. We'll see.
Did that CBA clarify if they were gonna, I guess, like a timeline to declare? Because that would make a huge.
I don't know. You know what? I figured that would have come up when Barkov was designated pretty much out for the season, but I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
We'll see. But yeah, we'll do this is going to be a very quick weekend preview here. So there's no games on Friday, which NHL, what are you doing? There's no Thursday, Friday, Sunday teams, no Thursday, Saturday, Sunday teams, no Friday, Sunday teams. All you really have is Sunday. There is one game that is New York versus Washington. And those are the only goalie back-to-backs you can get. So the Rangers are at Pittsburgh versus Washington, and then the Caps are at New York Islanders at Washington. I don't know. I feel like since Thompson laid an egg tonight, they probably go to Lindgren for the Islanders, and then so they're at New York. Sorry, my notes are not here tonight. So yeah, Caps are at New York Islanders, at New York Rangers. So yeah, you got to think they go back to Lindgren for the Islanders. Thompson gets the Rangers. But now you're trying to fit a goalie stream in on Saturday, which I think everyone plays Saturday. I don't think it's 30 teams or something. I think you're just kind of your hose there. So I don't know, Jay. Do we think it's worth just dumping our rosters for Rangers and whatever Rangers and Capitals are left on Sunday?
I was actually looking at it, and this is crazy because obviously we're talking now about the weekend preview, and I don't want to steal week 2 preview thunder.
Well, that's where I was going next. Looking at next week's schedule. I mean, the Capitals, they're not too shabby next week.
Pretty juicy, I want to say, honestly. The other teams, I was thinking too. I was like, if you're looking, well, I mean, Capitals have off nights is what they have next week, but the Capitals don't have
quantity of games.
They're pretty hard opponents out. You know what I mean?
I didn't even check opponents. I was just looking at straight off nights.
For sure. But they play Tampa next week. They play Mini. They play Vancouver. These are winnable games, I would say. But this is definitely still they would be competing. In order to secure any victory of sorts. I mean, they just lost to the Bruins tonight, didn't they? Like tonight. Okay, they just lost to the Bruins tonight. So, I mean, if you're looking at the other team, like it's just two teams that we're comparing. They have a better schedule than the Rangers for sure. The Rangers schedule next week 2 looks disgusting as well. Oh my goodness, Edmonton, Toronto, Montreal.
Ooh, yeah, I don't like any of those. No. Although, especially watching part of the Montreal-Toronto game tonight, like sample size of 1, but Montreal, they might have a hockey team now.
They're good. Yeah. Like I was saying too, like the whole offseason, that team just okay. The only thing that happened was they couldn't carry their 2-1 lead, right? And then it was tied at the end of the second, and it was a tight third. The score also doesn't make it look as close as the game was.
There were 2 empty net goals in there, so
it's it was a very, very tight hockey game. So I think that Montreal team, like, I don't know, man, this Atlantic is going to be rougher.
Demidov and Hudson are going to be fun to watch this season.
They're going to do some damage for sure. Jeez, Alan, I'm rolling all over the place too.
No,
I would say Capitals.
We're only 15 minutes in so far. I think we're doing all right.
Capitals, I think Capitals is the play to go. Yeah, Capitals is the play.
And then you can hold those guys in next week. They don't have some of the best schedules, but we'll go ahead and look. So again, no Sunday Monday overlaps. But Monday is technically considered a busy day. It is Columbus/Indigenous Peoples Day here in the States. There are 10 games. So it's considered busy, but it's not busy enough. You should be able to still fit guys in, stream guys. So check your schedule like in advance. And then the first game is at 12:30 Eastern. So make sure you set your lineups early. Set them Sunday night, whatever. Set a calendar reminder. Just know that.
Oh, I just realized, And I guess I have to say this too for the Canadian audience. Yes, while it is Columbus and Indigenous Peoples Day in the States, it is also our Canadian Thanksgiving on that Monday. So yeah.
Oh, dang. All the more reason to have hockey all day. And then best schedules. I'm kind of saying off nights in quotes, but the best schedules, you got Chicago, Detroit, Utah, 4 games, so 3 kind of off nights because I'm pretty sure all 3 of those teams play Monday. Worst schedules, you got Colorado, Columbus, LA, Jersey, New York Islanders, Philly, Winnipeg, 3 games with no off nights. I think all or some of those guys played on that Monday, so you're not so you probably get all 3 games. So next section we wanted to do here, since this weekend preview is just so short, kind of a mining the waiver wire section, maybe throw some guys out there that I tried to look for anything under 40% owned because I feel like right around 50 is kind of just go check. You're probably eliminating a decent amount of leagues. But yeah, I just some guys I thought were criminally underowned here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start with one of these because he played tonight and had 2 points, and I am manifesting a kind of a comeback for him this season. I want to say and it's a duo actually. Elias Lindholm and Josh Norris. They're 26 and 23% owned respectively. I know, and a lot of these guys are center only, and it's hard to fit those guys in. But yeah, Elias Lindholm, 2 points tonight. Line 1, power play 1 with Pasta, one of the best like top 5 right wingers in the league right now. Josh Norris, line 1, power play 1, as long as he is not injured, which happens pretty frequently. But if you pick him up on waivers, you didn't spend anything, so you don't lose anything if he gets hurt. Do you want to grab one of these, Jay? Or
no, I would just say for all the folks listening, I just a reminder again, right? So 2 ways to play the waiver wire. I think the first one is it's the home run swing, right? So I would say now, beyond and before anyone else sees it, is the time for you to grab that one guy, that pink sheet that is going to ride your way to the blue skies. Every single fantasy year has one. Alan, off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of the one from last season, but I know for 23 Blackwood. Yeah, absolutely Blackwood. No, undrafted basically, right?
Yeah.
And taken literally championship teams, I'm pretty sure. Like most, definitely. Allen was the champion last season, and he rode Blackwood from the waiver wire. And season prior, I think it was, what's that guy's called? Frankie V, Frank Vetrano.
Oh,
Like,
Frank
dude,
Vetrano, yeah. Well, didn't
dude was
he
top
kind of like
20.
first half just go off and then just kind of petered out?
And it was weird because he petered out in the way and still finished like top 30. You know, like he was still relevant and useful.
Then proceeded to get completely overdrafted the following season.
Yeah, exactly. So this time in the year is where if you underreact, like the same way we say don't overreact and drop any guys, you are also going and taking the risk if you're holding on to some guys. Like some of the guys you hold on to are going to be dead water, dog water shit that like, you know, didn't work out. And truthfully, the guys that you needed to have picked up to replace the dog water guys are already gone because they're at this stage taken. So that's one way to use the waiver wire as home runs. The other angle to use your waiver wire is just you got an extra bench. These guys, right. This waiver wire is your bench, your specific team bench, and just look at all.
Just those... you know, again, don't drop like Connor Hellebuck for Arthur Sheila. Don't do stuff like that. But like, yeah, it's especially if you know who you're playing with, you know that like I can drop this guy. He'll be there later.
I think also know your teams. So I would say specifically 10 teamers, 12 teamers play with different strategies in mind. Because if you're in a 12, like a classic standard 10 teamer, 160 guys are going to be rostered, meaning 161 down is free game. There is no way in hell it's a perfect alignment each week that you have the guys that are all 1 to 160 all rostered in your lineup. Ain't no way. There's one guy that's popping up constantly, and if you treat that waiver as your bench, you're going to have top value, and it's actually scary, Alan. I was trying to remember, like, I think you can get from 1 to 160, and I don't think you'd still clear out every single top 6 and top D in the league. So there's always value somewhere that you could stream week to week. Huge value, I would say, this week in particular, if you're looking for, like, I guess this weekend, I think I picked up Dylan Strome off of waivers, right? Because that's when you have shallow leagues.
Criminal.
That's
and I mean, center is the deepest position, but yeah, that is just criminal. Because I know, like a year or two ago, like I took him late, probably 12th round, because I faced
and rode him all the way.
Just like he was amazing. Like
he was amazing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, centers specifically, I would say for any listeners out there, remember. You do not earn any championship victory points by going, well, I drafted, I don't know, insert whoever we want to say, like Elias Lindholm. Who was the other guy? Dylan Larkin. Like, there are some guys that are center that are amazing. They will always deliver top 60 value for sure. But are they always going to deliver top 60 value your specific week? You ain't going to win shit by having top averages unless you're doing roto. If you're doing weekly, you have to win that damn week. And it doesn't matter if you can't fit the center because you got 5 other centers. Right. These guys. Looking at the list,
we got some wingers on this list.
Yeah, I'll just grab the first one first to say, like Jimmy Snuggerud, 26%. Let's check right now what St. Louis has this particular week. Oh, it's not great. It's not great. So maybe you hold off this week, but keep him No, is it watch listed? I guess it's called. Yeah, watch listed.
Yeah.
Keep on your watch list just to see, because look at week 2. Oh shit, never mind. I don't think he has a great week 2 either. But keep these guys on your wire, because these are the sorts of value picks that are always going to need, I guess you're always going to need refining. You have a waiver wire spot, and you have that sort of guy where you're going to say, hey, look, I'm going to optimize. And that's the second way to play the wire. First is your home runs. And these guys, I guess we're keeping with the baseball analogies. Are these like your walks?
You can.
These your walks,
I don't know enough about baseball other than the Blue Jays are playing tonight.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, like, you need some guys that are getting you consistent production. Just, a dime a dozen dirty.
Well, I would say like Snuggerud, we don't know who this guy is, but I mean, based on his deployment and that right wing positional scarcity, like,
oh shit, he could also be a home run. He could also be a home run,
and a lot of times you'll probably be able to fit him in because I know I personally hate having that log jam at center.
Yes.
Yes. And then like we said, Columbus next week as one of the better, I think, No, was it Columbus that had one of the better schedules? Hold on, let me.
Columbus.
No, they had one of the worst schedules. Damn it! Because I was about to say, like,
It's a tougher schedule.
yeah, Dmitry Voronkov line 10% owned, and then you got Kent Johnson, who I think was like mid-20s, and he's try eligible.
Right.
But yeah, guys to watch out for. But actually, someone we have a sample size of 1 for already. Sam Renzel. I know there's been quite a lot of preseason talk about him. 21:58 time on ice last night. 4:18 power play time on ice. Even played shorthanded time. Minute 41 there. Seems like
juicy.
I don't know. Yeah, I especially if you need power play 1 defense. I think he only had like, I don't know. I think it was like 1 shot, 1 hit, 4 blocks or something like that. Or maybe it was 1 block.
5 minutes of time on ice.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This is Seth Jones level of vacuuming. Oh, geez. I don't know, Alan. Like, we're in the same league, but I'm looking at him. He's like juicy on the free agent wire.
I grabbed him somewhere in one of the leagues we're both in.
And also, look at his schedule for week 2. Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, all off nights. Colorado. Oh man, not Colorado. Sorry, Chicago. Like, this is, geez, yeah, like 100% put Sam Renzel on your waiver wire watch list.
Yeah. And then another nice winger, Troy Terry. I think the Ducks could be sneaky good, or they'll be different from what we're expecting. I mean, with new coach, we know who Lucas Dostal is. Great goalie. He'll definitely need goal support. But they got some. I mean, they got Chris Kreider. They got Mikael Granlund in there. Like, I mean, Mason McTavish will kind of need some catching up. But I mean, they have an NHL team this season. I think Terry should maybe be a little bit high, especially with all the off nights the Ducks get. Troy Terry maybe be a little higher owned than 18%. And you know what? I gotta say this. I'm surprised because he had a point tonight, and I don't. You feel like anyone in Toronto is like completely overdrafted, but Matthias Majelli was only 17% owned going into today.
His cap is probably, I want to say, top 9 though. Like, I mean,
he's getting that first. He's getting that first shot. Matthias Majelli. He's getting that first shot up with Matthews and Nyes.
Oh, it's
that alone. I'm surprised he didn't get he's not like at least 40% owned.
But how does that function when both of them are left wingers? Who's the off wing?
I don't know why Yahoo says that he is left wing only. I don't know. Hopefully after, you know what? It probably won't need 5 games. Maybe after
Machelli
is. They'll give
Machelli is the right. Yeah, Machelli's the right wing. Okay. Huh. Okay. Alan, I hate this, man. I hate it when they throw me off with like the wingers. I guess it doesn't really matter if the guy plays off wing. He's playing with Matthews. You know, you just got like pass puck to Matthews, and I assume your job is done.
I got to give it to Montreal. I think it was through 2 periods. They held Matthews to 0 shots.
For sure. Not the game winner, though, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah, no. I would say, Alan, like, we put Trent Frederick here. Now I'm just double checking.
I know in the past I know me and TJ both have already shot down like don't chase after the McDavid wingman, but all of training camp he has been up there. He's try eligible, so you should have a spot to fit him. Like I mean, if you get him for nothing,
2-0 right now. Did anyone see who scored those 2 goals? Like, are we saying this is Trent Frederick is like halfway, more than halfway to a hat trick or something?
So power play goal. Too. No, Frederick hasn't been on any of them. But if you have Nuge, you're pretty happy right now.
Okay. 100%. I was just sitting here going like, Alan, am I going to besmirch the man as he literally rides the coattails to victory and cruises as the pink sheet to blue chip? It doesn't look like it's so far. And further, I'm trying to check it to see if he's got any time on ice. No power play time on ice quite yet. Although their power play time on ice.
This is more just like a completely. I feel like Frederick is a completely just opportunistic play. I mean, by the end of this game, they could yank him off that line. Who knows? Put Mangiapane up there. I hate to encourage people to chase after that McDavid wingman, but I don't know.
Alan, who's David Tomaszek again?
A rookie. Yeah, because he got a rookie lap tonight.
David
Yeah, he
Bush.
is. It sounds like he's still on the power play there in Edmonton.
He is, yeah. And this was a power play that scored. I don't know if he got any assists
He
on that
didn't.
one.
He didn't.
He didn't. No.
Yeah,
Oh,
surprise,
geez.
surprise. Like it's Nuge with 2 points, McDavid 2 points, Draisaitl a point, Mangiapane a goal. Usual
I'm
suspects.
definitely putting Tomaszek on the what do you call it, on the watch list though, because that's another guy, right? What's his ownership right now? He's
probably
1%
nothing.
owned.
It's probably single digits. Yeah.
Yeah, 1% owned. Oh my goodness. So yeah, instantly right after this spot, I'm gonna go and try to see what about all the watch
playing
lists.
Calgary tonight. Like I would not
Fair.
hold that standard
Tempered
to every
expectations.
game with Edmonton. Yeah, I mean, can you think of anyone, or there's still a couple on the list we didn't talk about? Or
the other one I would say is the last one you mentioned, where it was Marco Rossi, because I was heavily checking and drafting Jeek, and I think Jeek was drafted as well to be the line one center, but it kind of looks like Rossi's usurped that, which is ever so slightly concerning. But I mean, we'll see how it plays out.
Line one or power play one?
Yeah,
sorry,
line one. Sorry. So Jeek is still the power play one centerman, but the centerman for line one is now Marco Rossi. Not.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, it seemed like ever since Zuccarello went out, that top line has just been Rossi,
Marco Rossi,
Kaprizov, Boldy.
And
yeah, you want access to one of the highest paid player in the league right now. 27%. Again, I know he's center only, but I feel like there are worse centers that are probably higher owned.
Oh, 100%. I mean, dude, Kaprizov and Boldy, those guys are drafted top 3 rounds? I want to say maybe not top 3 rounds. Let's say top 4 rounds.
Definitely Kaprizov. Yeah, he's mid-late round 1.
100%. So if you're getting access to both of those studs, holy smokes, I drafted Jeek with that sole intention. If he's not going to do that, then what? I am bag holding Alan. Oh my goodness, Marco Rossi.
No, I mean, again, like we said in the last show, don't drop someone just because they didn't get the deployment you want on day one. Give it 100%. A minute.
100%.
Kings up 2-0, and you know what? I just got to put him. I didn't put him on the list, but I know he meets this criteria. Yeah, Andrei Kuzmenko, power play goal tonight. I think he might be left and right wing on Yahoo, but yeah, definitely. It seems like they might be happy with him next to Kopitar.
Alan, make this make sense, man. I just saw the Kings get absolutely crunched yesterday by the Avs, and off a back-to-back away to Vegas. How does this make sense? Anyways, oh my goodness.
But yeah, so that finishes up that section. And you know what? I like I told Jay before the show, I did look at goalies, and it seems like everyone's pretty savvy this season. There really wasn't anyone obvious. I did think was funny that Jet Greaves is apparently higher owned than Elvis. Even though I'm sure Elvis will start the season, I am definitely on board Elvis sucks. Jet Greaves should get more than the 6 games or whatever he got last year. But
nobody trusts Elvis to stay healthy for nobody trusts that.
Probably not even the guy who shows up to Nationwide in Elvis attire.
Although Nationwide is by your side.
Yeah. But yeah, with that, let's go to the mailbag.
You've got mail.
Mailbag. So yeah, I took some questions from Discord. First one up here is from Rook. How are we feeling about Nazar after his performance in the opener? Flash in the pan, started something. One, I hate that he is center only. That bugs me. But I think he's got to be power play one of the stat line. So we have a sample size of 1. He had 20 minutes nice last night. I think was roughly about the same as Bernard. 402 power play, minute 8 shorthanded. So they use him in all situations. Nice. But he only had 1 hit, 1 shot, 1 block last night. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, so far, again, sample size of 1. I like his deployment. I believe he is power play 1. I think he something like a 5th overall or something. I feel like he has very high draft pedigree. So I mean, there's potential there. I don't know if I hold him if I'm struggling.
I mean, I'm echoing your concern, Alan. I think my biggest issue is that we aren't expecting Chicago to win too many games this hockey season, right? And they're not. If they're not going to win too many hockey games this season, like reasonably speaking, the only guys here that would be worthwhile to keep would be who? Like I would say Bedard for sure. We talked about
100%.
Rinzel with his limited PP1, but even.
And I don't think you want Spencer Knight unless you can just get lit up on a night, and then just the value there is the shot volume that he'll face.
I think the biggest issue with Chicago more than anything is the value is never in drafting them or in holding them. The value is in their week-to-week streams that can serve like an extended purpose. So,
and I think, like we said, Chicago has one of the better schedules. So at least hold him through next week and see what he does.
Agreed. Hold him to next week and see what he does. Is actually, I would say, if anything, Alan, we should say in the mailbag, how do we feel about Nazar? We feel that Chicago in week 2 is the team to go for.
We'll see is how. No, yeah, I love that deployment. That's exactly what you want to see, or the time on ice at least. That's exactly what you want to see in kind of any player you hold on to long term.
I mean, he scored a goal last game and he had one shot all game, so he's now converting at a 100% shot.
Did he have a goal last night?
Oh man, he did. So it's like, do we really think he's going to retain that 100% goal conversion all season? Of course not. But having
he had a
said
goal
that,
and an assist, so yeah, that's definitely not bad.
I mean, but it's a sample size of 1. Connor Bedard had zeros across the board and went for a free skate from what it looks like. So
right,
is that going to happen all season?
And I mean, even Rinzel, who we were pumping, like he didn't have any points. Yeah, it was 1 shot, 1 hit, 4 blocks. But he had the deployment, which is always what you want.
Like, I mean, the same thing that made people excited about Frank Nazar is the same thing. Would you go, what about Turbo? What about Teravainen? He also had 1 goal and 1 assist last game. Are we jumping on that bandwagon? I think reasonably.
I believe he's wing, so I'd be a little bit more excited about Teravainen. Right. But I feel like, and I did look it up. Agreed. He was a 12th overall 2022 pick, so pretty, or 13th overall. He's very high draft pedigree. So there's potential there. This could be more than a flash and pan, but I would say at least give him that audition on your team through next week.
After their good games, what was the result of that game anyway? They
lost. Was it 3-2?
Well, that was a tight loss though. Yeah, 3-2. Okay. Huh.
Although what was
deployment is there.
Yeah. Friggin', like every time I see S Knight, I want to think it's Suge Knight. No, Spencer Knight put up a 919 and a loss. Like that's yeah. It sucks. Like he himself is a good goalie, but that team in front of him is just,
which goes 2 ways, right? Which is like amazing. He got 919 and a loss, and also like, oh my god, he got 919 and it was still a loss. Oh geez, like
yeah,
that's going to be the Chicago experience. And truth be told, it would suck, frankly, because if Frank Nazar is going to outperform and say flash in the pan value, it probably would mean that his production comes at the cost of others. There aren't that many goals coming in Blackhawks jerseys these seasons round, right? So if we really think Connor Bedard is going to be, like goose egging it like long term, then yeah, maybe Frank Nazar picks up his production. It's not going to happen though. Like, yeah. I guess I'm saying flash in a pan, Alan, after all this. Yeah. But not in week 2.
We'll see. Yeah. It's like I said, audition him at least through week 2. So next up we got Timbo Slice here. Brad Zook reposted this stream.
Oh,
thank you, Brad Zook.
Well, thanks, Brad Zook. Appreciate it.
Timbo Slice, how long is the leash on holding Landeskog in Cats and Bangers points leagues? Is he just another streamer at this point, or are we holding to see what his ice time looks like in a closer game? So yeah, I was high on. I think we're all high on Landeskog, especially after Bednar was like, no, the kid, the training wheels are off. Like as much ice time as he can handle. But last night he only had 11, 12 time on ice. That's third liner minutes. Minute 48
It's
power
bad.
play, which was not top unit. One shot, one hit. He won 5 out of 7 faceoffs. That is no bueno. That is, your league's got to be pretty deep for that to be relevant.
I am going to say this, and I guess the one defense of it would be last night was weird in the sense that the game had no flow. Like, I'm trying to like remember. I don't know if you caught the game, but it was like there was absolutely no rhythm or rhyme to the game because, like, look at the power play time on ice. Look at how skewed that box score is. It was like, was it both sides? Like, yeah, like both sides had quite a number of power play minutes. So he gets power play 2 time. They rode the power play 1, and it took a bit of time for the Avs to get it clicking fully. So power play 1 had a lot of ice time, which ate into everybody else's even minutes and power play minutes. So yeah, you only got 11 minutes, but it wasn't because they were rolling out normal game iced, like setups anyway. So
okay, and I didn't stay up late enough to see that, watch all or kind of.
There was some context to it. Is basically, yeah, it was horrible. Objectively, playing 11 minutes, holy smokes! Like, I want him to play at least out like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
a night,
and that's kind of like the threshold I look for personally, as to like if a player is you want to hold long term. Yeah, I would say that ice time's gotta come up. But I wouldn't panic just yet. I would panic a little bit, but not a lot. But yeah, how long of a leash though? I don't know, 2, 3, like 10, 12 games.
The problem I would say too is that if you looked at the goals, because Colorado won 4-1 yesterday, right? So then you look at the goals. Who got them? Arturi Lehkonen.
And it was such a nice pickup.
I'm checking too. I was like, did he get that on the power play? Because if he did, oh no. But the other one I was saying is Natchez had 2 goals as well. So the 2 guys, unless we're talking Brock Nelson, right? Brock Nelson's the other guy, but he still got an assist. So the 2 guys competing with, or 3 guys competing with Landeskog all produced last night, which is kind of sucky. But, I mean, what draft capital was offered up for him anyway? Like, he was...
Right. Hopefully you didn't take him very late, which is, those are the picks you use to go, like, your lottery tickets, your pie in the sky dream that this guy I'm taking in the 16th round is going to be a 70-point guy. It's just I'm the only one who can see it.
And I mean, truthfully, like, you still wait for the numbers to be called in your lottery ticket. You know what I mean? Like, one game ain't it. One game ain't, like, although, Alan, maybe we should say this to listeners. What is our game metric for what we think would be reasonable?
That's what I'm thinking, like 10, 12 games. I think that's
in
the past, at least, that's where we see, like, this is probably who this guy is going to be all season, barring some kind of injury or, I don't know, like a trade happens and you shuffle your lineup. So
I would say if in 10 to 12 games, and I would say too, like, check if Colorado's winning or not. Colorado winning, like, gritty games, kind of like grind festy games like this too, without him producing is concerning, because if they're grinding out victories this way, I don't think any coach would randomly shift what is a winning formula. So I believe that it's another thing to monitor. Like, if Colorado goes 8-2, and Landeskog does pretty much nothing, I would be concerned.
I'd panic. And then next, Pakalo here, 2-parter.
I would be concerned.
Rangers looked ugly last night, but it was obviously a weird it was obviously a weird preseason for 2 big pieces like Miller and Panarin. Absolutely. How much last night do we think was rust that they'll shake off versus last season carrying over? So I think both Panarin and JT Miller dealt with some kind of injury in preseason, so they missed camp. That is a huge part of conditioning. And then especially because they also have a new coach now, so there's a new play style, new systems to learn. So you're very behind at that point. I don't know if I'm so much worried about Panarin, but Miller. There was even footage last night, and I couldn't find the tweet again. I knew I should have saved it somehow. But yeah, it was like right off of a face-off. Like just Miller was kind of very ginger, hesitant about getting up on the play. And that's anytime you see something like that that is not good, that indicates that they may still be playing injured. But yeah, I don't know. We're again, sample size of 1. It's usually we have a new coach here, so 10, 12 games, before players adapt to systems, especially if you miss camp, you got to get that conditioning back up. I don't know if I don't know if I'd worry yet. But this could also be prime opportunity to, hey, if someone thinks that JT Miller or Panarin are going to stink it up the rest of the season, buy low.
And I mean, we got to, again, throw these games into context here. We're reading off like score sheets, and it's pretty much like, oh, like these are the box scores. That's what happened. The final score is 3-0. Oh my God. 2 empty net goals, right? Like a greasy, well, sorry, not greasy, but like, end of first period goal, like possibly lapse in concentration. There's so many contextual clues for a game that are, just washed over in a box score. Like look at the time on ice for Pittsburgh. Nobody hit over 20 minutes. Geez, the defenseman barely hit 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, this is a game in which it was a 1-0 scoreline all the way through. It was a grind out. One team was chipping the puck out, short shifts all the way through. This was low event hockey at its, first night of the NHL finest. This is not a game where you're like, all right, we're blowing it up. It's terrible. Like, I would even say, too, with Pat, the Rangers looked ugly last night, but could we say the Penguins looked beautiful? It probably was like an equal time where just the score lent itself to hockey in a certain way. What'll happen now, no matter what, is that Rangers team needs time to gel. Some of these names, Alan, I'm looking, I was like, how do I say him? Noah Laba? Like, exactly. That's the point. Adam Edstrom.
That's a player,
that's a player, right? Adam Edstrom. I also need to do some research, right? And then you have guys like, Matt Rempe. Like, clearly this is a guy that, played.
He's there to beat people up.
He was there. Yeah, he was there for the entertainment value. And then afterwards, when you're rolling through some of these names, these guys need time to gel. Connor Sheary's new on the team. Like,
I think Taylor Radish is new. You got
Taylor Radish.
Gavrikov, a big piece.
Gavrikov's new. Carson Soucy, I want to say, is also new.
I want to say he's new because I think he came from Seattle.
Right. Braden Schneider, right? Braden Schneider. Wait, no, I might be mixing it up with Schneider. I mean, it was just Schneider on the Islanders. But Earl Vikanainen?
Oh, yeah. The trade piece, they got, I think they got him from the Ducks in the Trouba trade. Kind of like I won't say a prospect at this point because I think he played quite a few games with them last season.
This team needs time to gel. This team needs so much time to gel.
And then the second part of his question here, what's your outlook on multiple guys in the same team? So he's talking about stacks, as some of us call them. Values turned out. Okay, so this is, during the draft, and he accidentally got 3 doubles. Jack Hughes, Jesper Bratt, and Nico Hischier. Solid players, but at what point does having that many guys on the same schedule interfere with streaming? It's rare you want to go more than 2. And I would say, actually, I was trading DMs with someone earlier today. But they had 3 of the Capitals. They had Ovi, they had Strome, they had Carlson. I'm like, well, I feel like Carlson kind of breaks that up a little bit because they still have the peripheral floor, right? But it just, as far as schedule, it sucks. But anytime you have a stack like that, it's going to be feast or famine. Like New Jersey has like a 8-goal game. That could be great for you. But if they lose 1-0, that is terrible because now 3 of your guys got you maybe some peripherals. But and I would say goalies you can't count in that because goalies they occupy different position, they have different value for you. But I don't know what your thoughts are on stacks, Jay.
Oh my God, I personally buy into the stacks heavily. The reason I buy into stacks heavily is there's a bit of the bias here, which is I basically think there is value to correlation. And if you're doing fantasy in general, there is a correlative component where actually, I'm going to rephrase this whole thing. Simply put,
Okay.
concentration builds, diversification protects. Okay. Like if you take those investment values, it is true in money, it is true in fantasy hockey, fantasy sports in general. So if you concentrate in the best team, like the President's Trophy team, and it turns out you got that top line, you will most likely roll your way to a playoff
It's great until all of a sudden that team has a 2-game week, and now you have 3 guys who do not as much for you as a streaming spot would, or just having team diversity.
I do think there's an argument for there's an argument to some degree that if you were drafting and spending significant early round draft capital to acquire all the same players on the same team, yeah, I think there could be some issues where
I feel like Heischer is probably someone you get pretty late, and to me, I feel like if you're saying do you want to move any of them, I would say Heischer is, depending on the depth of your league, probably almost one of those guys that's like just good enough for depending on the schedule, but most of the time you can let him go and no one will.
I think the main one is to actively break a successful concentrated tandem for the sake of diversification is not.
Hughes and Bratt, I'm all for that stack.
100%. Like I would even say too, we want some sort of correlative component. Like if you get the guy that handles the puck a ton and you also get that power play quarterback, I think that like if you get Hedman and Kucherov, don't do dumb shit where it's like, oh yeah, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't like the idea of concentration. Like that is not the angle. You know what I mean? If you end up with a guy like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of Alan. Who's the guy that ended up on the power play 1 that I was like, wait, he's on the Lightning power play 1? I was like, who's that guy?
Oh, Bjorkstrand maybe?
Yeah, if you have Bjorkstrand and Hedman, don't go like, oh, I really need correlated.
Most leagues they have Bjorkstrand B, and I feel like that's expendable. But yeah, I feel like guys
that combination, like that specific. Sorry, Alan. Yeah, go.
Yeah, Hughes and Bratt, like that's cool. Like that is probably a stack that's gonna win you a lot of weeks. And some of those will, but it's at 3 players though. That's gonna be tricky. That's gonna be tricky depending on schedule.
I'm now trying to think of another example. So, okay, if like some stacks are impossible to get, for example, right? Like you will never get any team with a McCarr and a McKinnon stack, right? Like that same power play quarterback as well as the dominant person handling the puck.
That's pretty much a league winning stack though. Like
it is. If you get that, it is a league winning stack. But so the same way you can get a similar league winning light stack, so to speak, if you get the Hedman and Kucherov one, that is a possible stack. Pasta on Boston, right? If you could get a Pasta and McAvoy stack, that's an amazing stack.
But that'd be easier, right? Because you get Pasta first round and then McAvoy you're picking up later. But it's
so the idea, like just core. I remember hearing before people have like core ideas where it's like, oh, diversification. Look me in the eye. Tell me the names of the richest billionaires on earth, and tell me any of them that got there by Boglehead investing their way to the top. It's not possible. You want to win hard and crush, it's only gonna come with asymmetric risk. That's it.
There you
and
go.
I'm telling you,
perfect.
If you get solid guys on the same team, you want correlative scoring. I guess it's that power play combination we just mentioned.
What's your appetite for risk?
What's your appetite for risk? Yeah.
But
I would say appetite for risk is specifically get the power play quarterback, get that guy that handles the puck. If you can end up with those 2 power guys on the same squad, you will most likely do very, very well. And I would say better than if you ended up like purposely breaking them up for some reason.
But yeah, that 3 guys, that stacks a little too much for me. In most cases.
You might as well get the Nepo Hughes.
There we go. And got that coming up later. I'm pretty sure this is caffeine and ketamine. He's got a laundry list for us. So first up is, how do we feel about Hintz's outlook this season, the full season with Rantanen? Possible career season? Possible, yeah. I know I was looking it up earlier. It's possible. but let me pull up because I was checking out his last few seasons earlier today. I don't know if it'll be a career season, but it definitely won't hurt him. So yeah, here we go. So his last 4 seasons, 67, 65, 75, 72. I think, and this is again, we have a new coach here. We don't know how he is going to deploy things. It seems like he is a fan of just kind of, shaking the boggle cube and kind of rolling with some things. Yeah, I would say Hintz has a better shot at being in that 70, 80 point range.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Blake. Appreciate it. I think
like the 60, 70.
I think specifically with Hintz, that team needs the top 6 to really blast off, right? Like, what is his projection right now? He's projected for 24 goals, 33 assists.
So that's okay. 60
yeah, points. I could see that. That sounds around 60, yeah. So we're saying a breakout, I would say, Alan, let's say if he went to point per game, that's probably breakout, right?
There we go. I don't know if he'll get that. I just don't.
I don't know if I like that one.
Yeah. But I mean, we're talking Mikko Rantanen, one of the like top 5, top 7 right wing.
He's probably the most talented winger that Hintz has played with, yeah? Reasonably?
But yeah, I feel like a lot of the offense is gonna go through Rantanen. But again, I don't think they've even played a game yet, so who knows?
I need to watch more of the Stars, Alan. Oh man, like there were some guys like, man, it almost sounds like sponsored content at this point. But I was like, I think there's this one YouTube channel that was like, there's one YouTube channel. I think it's like Hockey Psychology
by FanDuel.
No, but it's just, there's some like quality YouTube guys out there. I think it was like Hockey Psychology or something. And he did like a full breakdown when Rantanen was like really slow out the gate with the Canes and then also with Dallas when he got traded. And he basically explained the way he played his game as sort of like the late second round cavalry arriver into the zone. So he was like, he's rarely the guy that immediately zone entries and zooms in, but he's more like the guy waiting around for the right spot to enter right after the entry's been made. Point being, Rantanen's success probably entirely hinges on one of those guys, Hintz, or who's the other guy? Is it Sam Steele? Is that Sam Steele? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm like when they're juggling Sam Steele in their top 6. I'm like,
so my big one is I'm like,
we expect from Hintz.
I'm just trying to imagine the person that's like, like the first drop in water, making that zone entry and then leaving the puck in for Rantanen to work his magic. I'm like, is that Hintz? I'd have to watch. It could be, but I'm like, I'm gonna make a guess a little here and say it might not be Sam Steele. Like so.
Right. But yeah. So back to the question. I don't know if I'd call it a breakout. I don't know if he could. Is the potential there with his teammate of Rantanen to get to
power play one. Power play one is where it would happen.
And it all depends on what the power play there is because they keep juggling. They've already said they're going to juggle between like Heiskanen and Harley.
And Harley. So I don't know. I would
say he gets back more to 70, 80 points instead of the 60, 70 like he has been like the last couple seasons.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And then what was this next question here? Oh, okay. This was his draft question. So let me pop this up for everyone that is oh well. Anyway, so I kind of have it up here. So this was a 10-team league. He kept Boldy, Morrissey, Natchez, Harley, and Blackwood from last season. I like those keepers. This is points. So he has Bedard, Byfield, Kuzmenko, Tippett, Natchez, Bjorkstrand, Devon Tays, Morrissey, McAvoy, Harley. I like that D. That's solid D.
Is it in a Rate My Team?
Yeah, this is the Rate My Team. Brady Tkachuk, Willie Nylander, Keller. Those nice wingers. Matt Boldy, Jordan Kyrou, is Cole Perfetti on IR, and then his goalies are Blackwood, check out the cord. What's a grade? I don't know. I feel like he's definitely a up contender for sure.
What was his? I'm trying to find it on the.
E plus,
I found it.
I would need more picks or more information about like what picks he had, what picks he traded. But I like those keepers.
Was this a 12 teamer? Did he say
10 team,
10 teamer?
10 team points with periffs. Yeah, I would say this is easily B plus A minus. Like,
wait, his team looks stacked. What the heck?
Without seeing the whole draft, yeah. Oh, and that's the beauty of 10 teams is like pretty much every
100%.
team is stacked.
Yeah,
but yeah, depending on
his team looks stacked.
I like
because his team is stacked.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Sorry,
to
I
like
talked
here.
over you.
No, you're good. Yeah, and I mean, there's obviously guys you could probably drop here to pick up streamers. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I just friggin' love the Byfield pick more than anything because of the awesome LA schedule in week 1. And
Kuzmenko, who's already
Kuzmenko, who earned a ton for him as well. I think the big one too is if anyone else is looking at it, I think this is an amazing squad setup for a D, and I'll break it down exactly why. Which is so on D, you essentially want
I love that
functionally at least two quarterbacks. Ideally, you would have all 4 quarterbacks or 3 quarterbacks and 1 bangers dude, but at least 2 core guys. So he's got Morrissey, McAvoy. They're as long as they are healthy, they are stable to the PP1. And then Harley is the guy that has upside, and then I'm assuming he's drafted asymmetrically, right? So he's got the asymmetric risk of rolling into a power play 1 guy, but then simultaneously you didn't have to expend draft capital for a power play 1 guy to grab him. Actually, come to think of it, McAvoy probably falls into that category as well. So McAvoy is a huge value add there too. And then I think Taves has that, I guess, like a risk factor for him where, like, if something terrible, like, he does everything peripherally, and then on top, if something does happen horrifically in Colorado, he gets, again, asymmetric benefit of rolling into power play 1 as well. So I don't know, Alan.
You know what? And then thinking about his goalies, I like those goalies. You know what? A like a solid A minus. Like that's a solid team. Without seeing like how the entire draft unfolded, the other competition, like to say who to look out for. No, you can't be mad at that team.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is there's only one IR spot, So I guess Blackwood has to sit in the out.
Right. And he should be back. It sounds like he'll be back this week.
Soon.
From everything I'm seeing. So, and then, so next up, Owen Tippett, no more torts. Thoughts on his possible production? I was looking at him earlier today. He's not, I don't know. Depending on what the peripherals are worth, I just don't, to me, he's probably one of the guys you could give up for a streaming spot.
Yeah, Philly doesn't get a lot of criticism in the same way, but I think the issue with Philly as well is I don't think he's in the top 6. I think there we go. That was another one of the, I should have put that in my notes. One of the points I was definitely going to make was that I feel like he's gotten more competition on that team for like scoring opportunities now. I just don't. Yeah.
Tippett, his past 3 seasons, 43, 53, 49. To me, he's probably like a 45-ish point player. Gets you about 120, 115 hits. It's just what the peripherals are worth for you. He does get pretty good time on ice, at least the last 3 seasons. But again, we got a new coach here in Philly. So that might be a wait and see.
So his big one right now is, at the moment, I'm just looking at the lines, right? So right wing, line 2 is Konechny, left wing, line 2 is Tippett, and then they're centered by Zegras, which on the face of it sounds pretty okay. But then you roll over and realize that Michkov is the right wing 1, Couturier is the center 1, and then Christian Dvorak. Oh, Christian Dvorak. Okay,
right. That seems like a weird line. Owen Tippett. Yeah. You know what? I mean, there's definitely room for. I don't know. Especially in a 10 team, I almost feel like there might be slightly better players on the waiver wire, or players you could swap out depending on the schedule.
it's just too dependent on how Michikov does, right? Like, is it impossible for Philly to roar through like in a relatively, I'd say, weaker Metropolitan? Yes, but I don't think Tippett is the tipping point. Like it it would probably be Michikov or bust. In which case, he's not even on the same damn line. We kind of know what Konechny is, right? Konechny's like, geez, was it like a 70 point? Or was he a point per game guy? I don't think it was point per game.
70, 80
67,
points.
70, 80, something like that.
Again,
Yeah.
we have a new coach, so let's reset button. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, let's watch the first game before we say anything. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just gesticulation.
But yeah, anyway, on that roster, to me, Tippett seems like one of the guys you might be able to kind of juggle in and out as schedule allows. And then his last one, first time Kyrou and Bedard owner. How sad should I be? I don't know. Kyrou, not as bad as and he's was he right wing, so that's positional scarcity.
Yes.
And I was looking earlier too. What is this? And
power play 2. Right. But he's got a lot of juicy dudes on power play 2, right? There's Dylan Holloway, Jake Neighbors.
Getting like a 65, 70.5 point guy. I don't know where you took him, but I mean, especially if you took him later, that's not bad. I wouldn't be upset about that. Bedard, center only, that might be tricksy, but at least like we said for next week, Chicago, one of the better schedules. He is a lock for line 1, power play 1.
Like if you just go off projections, guys. Yeah, if you just go off projections, right? Like, let's see. So 5th best right winger will be Rantanen, which makes sense. And then you go down. 10th is Tom Wilson. Like, you scroll all the way down, and he's top. Okay, they said he's top 24 in terms of right wing. So this is including not just sole right wingers, but also, I guess, like anyone that's like in dual positions, multiple positions. That is crazy value, right? Like, you would not have drafted Kyrou very, very early. And if you left right wing all the way down, you're probably going to be starting him every game. I would happily start Jordan Kyrou every single game if I was already beefing up and built up in terms of other positions, let's say D or center or somewhere else. Like, yeah, I'd start Jordan Kyrou every single. Now, reasonable question is if I had built the rest of my lineup and I was starting Bedard as my center every single night when I feel kind of bad, like, I probably wouldn't, in the sense that you could probably find other value in like a shallower league just to, like Bedard could be streamable in a super shallow league, but Kyrou definitely is not streamable because you are never going to get another value.
I feel like if you drop Bedard, someone will pick him up, like almost instantly.
For sure. Like, I'm not saying to drop Bedard. What I'm saying is center is the position where if you relinquish any centers, you will most likely still be able to recoup week to week value for them. Right wing is so scarce that if you drop any guy in the top, I want to say 30. Let's say if you're top 30 right wingers that you just drop one for the sake of it, you probably can't value fill your right wing slot with the same guy you dropped.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
Yeah, the Vorp. Yes. And then last question here from Odd Pounding. It's a fun one. I thought it was a fun one. I figured it was fun to include it. Do I trade Hughes for Hughes?
Alan, you can go first on this. Oh my goodness.
So, all right. I sat and thought about this okay. So if I would not trade Jack or Quinn for Luke. Cool. I would trade Luke for either one, Jack or Quinn. Jack for Quinn. I don't know. I feel like you're guaranteed to get most of the game. Like, there's less injury risk with Quinn, but I feel like Jack's going to get you more peripherals. Easier time. Well, no, I think Jack has left wing eligibility too, or has in the past. So that really doesn't give you much of an advantage over Quinn Hughes being D. Yeah, I would say, I would never trade either Hughes for Luke. Luke for either one, because I feel like you're getting away with robbery there. Yeah, maybe Jack and Quinn are probably the closest to being interchangeable, but I don't know if I'd pull the trigger on that either way.
So the other big one is I didn't hear any mention of Cameron Hughes or Connor Hughes, goaltender for Montreal or center for Dallas.
Yeah, I can I fit them into my NA slot. Yeah, sure. Either of them for any of it. Yeah, I'll trade the Cameron Hughes for Luke Hughes. There we go.
100% every day of the week. Objectively speaking, I think we agree Jack would be the most talented in terms of just if they were no positions. I think Jack is the guy that gets most value.
My only struggle is like Jack with his injury risk.
Horrendous injury risk. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Like when did he get the left wing eligibility? Was that new?
I don't know. I feel like I think maybe ever since his first season in the league, he's had center left wing.
I feel like, I feel like with Nico, he's always been like shifting between the two and always had both access. I think Alan, this really, really sucks because I can already see mid-November rolling around and he's going to be out for 20 games. But
exactly.
If they all stay healthy and go to bed at 9 and drink their milk, like
eat Wheaties,
eat their Wheaties, it should be Jack Hughes, right? Like he is the most talented one, I think. And I would say to Quinn Hughes specifically, he's not in a position that gains like he's kind of like Josh Morrissey, where he does so much on the puck, but he doesn't do any of the peripherals that you associate together with the bona fide D-man with the minutes they play and whatnot. So I think Jack just does more. Having said that, if this is elite, I think Jack just does more because like neither of them hit and Jack shoots a ton. So if he stays healthy, Jack wins.
In a vacuum, I feel like Jack is probably
agreed. In a vacuum, Jack is the guy.
Top tier.
By the way, his question of do I trade Hughes for Hughes, I guess is the whole thing, which is like
a joke. It was a joke. But I thought it was funny to include it as a talking point. But the answer is turtle. So that's let's just go ahead and say that is the show for tonight. Just to let everyone know like future plans. I think I mentioned it in the Discord, no sit start for like the first couple Saturdays, just to kind of give us time, everyone time to collect data, see who these teams are, and just October hockey is different from the rest of the year hockey.
Oh shoot, Alan, by the way too, for any listeners too, October hockey's not like every other hockey, but 20 games. Remember, 20 games.
20 games. Yeah. But that's gonna do it. Thanks for listening, everyone. Enjoy the games on tonight. David Tomasek, the point tonight. Good night, good mental health, everyone.
Yeah, we'll pick you up later.
Adios, turd nuggets.